Good morning everybody. This is our second e-learning lecture. We are going to finish chapter 23 in this lecture. This is lecture 7. Okay, so we are complete this chapter, which is aggregate expenditure and equilibrium output. إن شاء الله النهاردة هنخلص الchapter ده. Last lecture, just to remind you, we talked about the equilibrium. We talked about the equilibrium using two approaches. The first approach, aggregate output, aggregate expenditure approach. Y, which is aggregate output, equal AE, which is aggregate expenditure, or Y equal C plus I, consumption plus investment. Okay, we agreed that we assume in this chapter that we have just two sectors in the economy, household sector and firms. Okay, about the second approach, it's saving investment approach. The condition of equilibrium, S equal I, or saving equal equilibrium. So again, to achieve the equilibrium in this market, which is the simplest model, the simplest economy, just two sectors in the economy, we have two approaches. Y equal C plus I, this is aggregate output, aggregate expenditure approach, or S equal I, this is saving investment approach. Okay, so let's begin our lecture. Our lecture is about multiplier. Multiplier is meaning مضاعف. المضاعف. What's the meaning of multiplier? Actually, multiplier is the change in equilibrium output because of change at any autonomous in the economy. يعني ايه autonomous in the economy? Autonomous ده means variable which is not change with income. Our economy consists of two sectors, consumption and household sector and firms. Okay, so at equilibrium, Y equal C plus I. C has two parts, autonomous consumption which is A and induced consumption. يبقى أول autonomous عندنا في الإيكونومي هو إيه؟ الautonomous consumption. Second autonomous is investment. We agreed last lecture that investment, how we assume that investment is autonomous. يعني إيه؟ يعني investment is not related to Y. So when we talk about multiplier, this is the change in equilibrium income because of change in investment. Okay, so if investment change, so output will change. The change of output because of change of investment is called the effect of multiplier. So multiplier, this is the ratio of the change in equilibrium level of output to a change in some exogenous or autonomous variable which is I in our economy. So it's delta Y over delta I. Again, this is the change of equilibrium output because of change in investment. Okay, in our economy we have two kinds of autonomous. Investment, how we assume that it's autonomous, exogenous, متغير خارجي ملوش علاقة بالدخل, and A in the consumption function. بس صعب ان احنا نقدر نسيطر على او نغير A. فدايما وانا بتكلم عن multiplier بتكلم على انه change of equilibrium income because of change in investment, delta Y over delta I. Okay, clear? يبقى exogenous variable or autonomous variable This is a variable that's assumed not to depend on the income. That it doesn't change when income changes. Okay, let's talk about the multiplier process. Actually, when investment change, we expect that equilibrium income will change more than the initial change in investment. For example, if investment increases by 10, so output increases by 20, so the multiplier will equal 2, or y increases double the increase in investment. Okay? يبقى كلمة المالتبلاير أو المضاعف ده معناها قد إيه الدخل بيتضاعف لما الاستثمار بيزيد بمقدار معين. طيب let's see. If our consumption equal 100 plus 0.75y, investment equal 25, so at the equilibrium, according to our formula, y, or according to the condition of equilibrium, y equals c plus I. If we solve this equation, y will equal 500. Okay? طيب, now let's assume that investment increased by 25. What is the multiplier effect of this change on the equilibrium? If income increases by 25, so now the equilibrium y equals c 100 plus 0.75 plus I اللي هي 25 plus change of I which is 25 again. Okay, so if we solve for the equilibrium, y will increase more than the increase of investment. تعالوا نشوف ايه هي البروسيس وبعدين ايه نحسبها في الاخر. If I increased, this will increase aggregate expenditure, صح? Because aggregate expenditure equal I plus C. Okay? So now if we began from an equilibrium, يعني if we began from y equal aggregate expenditure, then I increases, investment increases, so aggregate expenditure now will be more than aggregate output or more than aggregate income. So there will be unplanned decrease in inventory. هنجيب الزيادة في الأجريجيت expenditure منين؟ We are going to withdraw from inventory. So we have a decrease in inventory. This decrease will induce firms to increase output. So Y will increase by the value of the increase of investment. This is the first round of increase. طيب كويس أوي. إيه اللي هيحصل بعد كده؟ When Y increased, actually this will increase consumption, because we know that consumption is a function of income. So when income increases, consumption should increase. But if consumption increased, so aggregate expenditure will increase again, because aggregate expenditure equals C plus I. So now aggregate expenditure will be more than aggregate output. Okay, so there will be a decrease in inventory. Firm will respond by increasing output, and so on. This is the second round of multiplier, and so on. If Y increased, this will increase consumption. An increase of consumption will increase aggregate expenditure more than income. So there will be decrease of inventory. This will induce firm to increase output. Output increases or income increases. This will increase consumption, and so on. Second round, third round, and so on. So the first or the initial increase of investment, first it increases aggregate expenditure, okay, this will induce firm to increase output increase, or income increased. When income increased, consumption increased. Okay, and so on. The question now is this process repeated continuously? هل ده هيفضل يحصل على طول؟ زيادة الاستثمار تؤدي إلى زيادة aggregate expenditure، ده هيعمل زيادة في y تزود consumption، و consumption يزود y and so on. لا، الحقيقة no. What will restore equilibrium? Actually, the equilibrium will restored because the increase in income will increase consumption and increase saving as well. So at the beginning, when there is equilibrium, S equal I, saving equal investment. Investment increased by 25. So an increase in income will increase consumption and saving up to saving. An increase in saving will be equal the increase in investment. يعني saving هيقعد يزيد بال25، أول ما يزيد بال25 دول the equilibrium will be restored again and the process will stop. So an increase in income will increase saving as well. لحد امتى؟ until change of saving equal change of investment. يعني لحد ما saving يزيد بال25. At this point, S equal I again and the equilibrium will be restored at a new and higher level of income. Okay? How to calculate the multiplier? Let's derive the multiplier equation. We know that marginal propensity to save equal change of saving over change of income, delta S over delta Y. As we said before, or as we said now, to restore the equilibrium, the change of saving must be equal the change of investment. Okay, so let's substitute delta I for delta S and solve. So marginal propensity to save equal delta I over delta Y. But actually delta I over delta Y, this is the reciprocal of the multiplier. أنا عارفة أن المultiplier delta Y over delta I. So if delta I over delta Y equal marginal propensity to save, so delta Y over delta I equal 1 over marginal propensity to save. Okay, so the multiplier, simply speaking, it's 1 over the marginal propensity to save, or 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume. Okay, to calculate the change in Y, this is will equal delta I times 1 over marginal propensity to save. Okay, so multiplier in our example equal 1 over marginal propensity to save, which is 0.25، يعني هيبقى 4. So delta Y equal delta I times 4، يعني هيبقى equal 100. طيب عايزة افهم كده اخر جملة دي. Multiplier in this economy equal 4. Okay, this means that the income, the output income will increase 4 times the initial increase of investment. Income or equilibrium income will increase 4 times the initial increase in income. Okay, so income increased by 25, investment increased by 25, so income will increase by 100. Okay, 4 times the initial increase in investment. This is the meaning of multiplier. Okay, $25 increase of investment causes $100، يعني 4 times this increase in output. اوكي، طب تعالوا نفتكر كده ده بسبب ايه. احنا قلنا this 100 فيهم $25 initial increase in investment and 75 increase in consumption. تمام؟ يبقى ال 100 increase or 100 increase in equilibrium income كان منهم 25 dollar increase in of investment and $75 increase in consumption. Okay? يبقى ال value of multiplier ال different rounds of multiplier كلهم كانوا بسبب ايه؟ ال consumption. خلاص؟ And don't forget the multiplier equal 1 over marginal propensity to save, or 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume, because we know that marginal propensity to save equal 1 minus marginal propensity to consume. So if we look at the formula of the multiplier, it's very easy to get the relationship between the multiplier and the marginal propensity to save. It's very clear that it's negative relationship. When marginal propensity to save increases, the value of multiplier in the economy decreases. When marginal propensity to save decreases, the value of multiplier will increase. Okay? And vice versa for marginal propensity to consume. Okay? If marginal propensity to consume increases, of course, the value of multiplier will increase. If marginal propensity to consume decreases, of course, the multiplier will decrease. Okay? Easy? طيب, if we want to draw the effect of multiplier from our example, if you remember, the consumption function can 100 plus 0.75y, investment can 25, so aggregate expenditure function will be اللي هو c plus I, يبقى it's 125 plus 0.75 y. Okay, last lecture we said that don't forget the slope of aggregate expenditure function is the same as the slope of consumption function. خلاص, both of them will be marginal propensity to consume. autonomous part بقى of aggregate expenditure function هو عبارة عن autonomous part of consumption function اللي هو 100 plus the investment which is 25. Okay, يبقى both of them 125. The equilibrium income when the aggregate expenditure interacts with the 45-degree line or the income line, بنسميه income line. خلاص, عند التقاطع بينهم هما الاثنين interaction between aggregate expenditure function and 45-degree line, هو ده بيبقى الايه؟ equilibrium. Down to determine the equilibrium income which is 500. طيب, now let's assume that investment increased by 25. So now the autonomous part will increase by 25. Okay, so we begin from 150. Okay, so the aggregate expenditure function, the new aggregate expenditure function, C plus I plus change of I. It will be 150 plus the same slope which is 0.75 y اللي هو marginal propensity to consume. Okay, now the equilibrium will occur at a new level اللي هو 600. So 25 dollar increase in investment causes $100 increase in income. This is the effect of multiplier. So income increased 4 times the initial increase of investment. ليه? As we said before, this is because the increase in consumption. Okay, easy. Okay, the paradox of thrift. The paradox of thrift. Paradox mean dilemma. Okay, thrift طبعا الادخار. An increasing paradox can arise when households attempt to increase their saving. يعني if families decide to increase their saving and they try to increase their saving. Okay, saving function will increase or it will shift upward. Okay, the autonomous part will decrease from will increase from negative 100 to negative 50. So the saving function will shift upward from S0 to S1. Okay, اللي هيحصل بقى according to this equilibrium income will decrease. As you see from the graph, from the diagram, equilibrium income will decrease, and we will find that the saving will be the same at $25. So even if households attempt to increase saving and saving function shift upward, what happens that the saving stays the same at $25 and the level of equilibrium income decreases from 500 to 300. تفتكروا الكلام ده حصل ليه؟ What causes this paradox? Actually, this paradox occurs because saving will not finance investment. خلاص، يبقى الادخار لم يستخدم في انه ايه to finance investment. يعني كأنهم عملوا ادخار تحت البلاطة، ما ودوهوش البنك. يبقى saving are not used to finance investment. So an increase of saving decreases consumption, so income decreases. احنا عارفين ان الconsumption ان saving is a function of income. يبقى لما الانكم قل السيفنج رجع قل تاني عشان يرجع لمستواه الايه مستواه الاول اللي هو 25. but if saving used to finance investment الموضوع هيبقى مختلف، الدخل مش هيقل والسيفنج كمان هيزيد. يبقى increased efforts to save have caused a drop in income but no overall change in saving. اوكي، تعالوا نحل مع بعض بقى كده كام سؤال مهمين، ركزوا بقى معايا. True or false, explain why. If the marginal propensity to save increases, so the multiplier will increase. طبعا disagree. There is a negative relationship between marginal propensity to save and the multiplier. Second, if everyone increases their marginal propensity to save without increasing investment. خلي بالك الجملة دي مهمة. without increasing investment. So the Keynesian model predicts that total saving and total income will increase dramatically in this economy. طبعا saving will be the same, will not increase, and total income will decrease in this case. يبقى برضو disagree. If marginal propensity to consume is 0.9, so an increase in household income causes consumption spending to rise by the full increase in income. طبعا لا. عارفين يعني ايه full increase in income؟ يعني if income increases by $100, consumption will increase by $100. طبعا ده غلط. This can be true if the marginal propensity to consume equal 1, but marginal propensity to consume equal 0.9. So just 90% of the increase of income will go to consumption. Let's see this problem. The following questions refer to this table. مديني table هو مديني بس ال first 3 column. Why? Income, consumption and investment. Okay, just ignore the last 3 columns now. أول حاجة بيقول لي at each level of output calculate saving. Okay, it's easy. We have the value of income, consumption, so it's very easy to calculate saving. Income minus consumption equal saving. So 2000 minus 2100 minus 100. 2500 minus 2500 0. خلي بالكوا دي اسمها ايه؟ كان اسمها ايه؟ This is the break-even level of income when consumption equal income و saving equal 0 and so on. نفس الطريقة بعد كده 3000 minus 2090 100 and so on. يبقى دايما بجيب السيفنج عبارة عن الانكم y minus consumption. طيب at each level of output calculate unplanned change of inventory. Okay, to get the value of inventory we have to get aggregate expenditure. Aggregate expenditure C plus I. So 2100 plus 300 2400. 2500 plus 300 2800 and so on. يبقى بجيب الاجريجيت expenditure بجمع الconsumption plus investment. Okay. طيب to determine the inventory, the size of inventory or change of inventory بقارن we compare Y aggregate output by aggregate expenditure. We compare aggregate output by aggregate expenditure. تعال نشوف كده. when aggregate output equal aggregate expenditure so we are in equilibrium. Here at the level of output or a level of income equal 4000. يبقى at a level of income equal 4000 the economy is in equilibrium. So the level of inventory equal 0. No change in inventory. Okay. Change of inventory equal 0. خلاص لا بنسحب منه ولا بنضيف له. the economy is stable, the economy is in equilibrium. طيب before this level of income بلاقي ان الانكم الاوتبوت الاجريجيت انكم والاجريجيت اوتبوت less than aggregate expenditure. خلاص less than aggregate expenditure. So aggregate expenditure is more than aggregate income or aggregate output. يبقى there is a decrease in level of inventory. Decrease of level of inventory so firm will respond by increasing output. Output will increase, then equilibrium, then after that we will find that aggregate output is more than aggregate expenditure. يبقى there is an increase in level of inventory. This will induce firm to decrease output. Okay, فهمنا؟ easy. B. What is likely to happen to aggregate output if the economy produces at each of level indicated. ده اللي احنا قلناه الاوتبوت هيجرى له ايه. Okay, what is the equilibrium output قلنا at level of $4,000 or if the output equal 4,000. Okay. C. Over each range of income calculate the marginal propensity to consume. والتابل ازاي how to calculate marginal propensity to consume. It's delta C over delta Y. delta C 2500 minus 2100 يعني 400 over delta Y 2500 over 2000 يعني 500. يبقى 400 over 500 4 over 5 يعني 0.8. 0.8 لو حسبناها لكلهم هيطلع برضو 0.8 عشان عارفة ان المارجنال propensity to consume is constant along the different levels of income. يبقى المارجنال propensity to consume 400 over 500 0.8 at all levels of income. عايز ايه كمان؟ calculate the marginal propensity to save. marginal propensity to save equal 1 minus marginal propensity to consume يعني 0.2. طيب what is the multiplier? multiplier 1 over marginal propensity to save يعني 1 over 0.2 يبقى 5. okay. طيب if you would like to calculate the value of income, the new value of income after the increase in investment. Okay, if we have increase of investment equal 200, if the increase of investment equal 200, so 200 times 5 يبقى the equilibrium income will increase by 1000. معايا delta y, the increase of income equals the initial increase of investment times the value of multiplier. 200 plus 5 يبقى 1000. اوكي، واصلا الايكوليبريم كان كام؟ كان 400، يبقى 400 plus 4000 plus 1000 يبقى the new level of income هيبقى 5000. معايا؟ يبقى again we calculated the value of multiplier وطلعت كام؟ 5. ده معناها ان ال income will increase 5 times the initial increase of investment. If we assume that investment increases by 200 يبقى انا عرفت ان ال equilibrium output will increase by 200 times 5 يعني 1000. The initial equilibrium كان 4000. اوكي، بعد كده investment increases by 200 so income will increase by 1000 يبقى the new level of equilibrium will be 5000. طيب by assuming that marginal propensity to consume, marginal propensity to save is constant and the planned investment jumps by 200 and is sustained at that higher level, recompute the table. What is the new equilibrium level؟ عايزك تحسب ال new equilibrium using الايه؟ التيبل. طيب اداني التيبل. if you remember investment كان كام؟ كان 300. now it's 500. it increases by 200. يبقى هنغير التيبل، نغير ال aggregate expenditure C plus I. now I become 500. يبقى دلوقتي ال aggregate expenditure change. let's compare Y by aggregate expenditure to determine the new level of equilibrium. فعلا it's 5000. it's 5000 as we calculated using the multiplier. فاكرين حسبنا المultiplier طلع 5 times 200 يبقى 1000. يبقى الانكم الاوتبوت الاجريجيت output increase from 4000 to 5000 increase by 1000. okay, explain why you agree or disagree with each of the following statement. First one, if the consumption function is given by C equal 100 plus 0.5y, marginal propensity to consume and the marginal propensity to save are equal. ايه رأيكم؟ صح. They are equal and both of them equal 0.5. طيب. If the consumption function is given by C equal 100 plus 0.8y, suppose the planned investment is fixed at I equal 50. So the equilibrium income or output equals 1000. مش هعرف اقول صح ولا غلط من غير ما احسبها. هقول AY at equilibrium equal C plus I. 100 plus 0.8y plus I اللي هي مين؟ 50. يبقى 150 plus 0.8y. 0.8y هوديها هناك يبقى 1 minus 0.8 يبقى 0.2y equal 150. يبقى y equal 750 not 1000. يبقى disagree. okay, number 3, the higher the marginal propensity to save the smaller the value of the simple multiplier. طبعا ايه؟ it's true, there is a negative relationship between them. An increase in interest rate will shift the aggregate expenditure function upward and therefore increase the level of output equilibrium. طبعا it's disagree. An increase in interest rate decreases consumption and decreases investment. يبقى in both cases aggregate expenditure will decrease and shift downward. So the level of equilibrium income should decrease or equilibrium output should decrease. okay, طيب يلا last problem. You are given the following data concerning a hypothetical economy. This is consumption function. This investment طبعا it's autonomous or constant equal 100 aggregate expenditure, and this is the equilibrium condition. What is the marginal propensity to consume? سهلة جدا 0.8. And what is the marginal propensity to save? 0.2. 1 minus the marginal propensity to consume. طيب سهلة جدا. solve for equilibrium income. Y هو مديك اهو condition of equilibrium. aggregate expenditure equal Y، يبقى Y equal C plus I. خلاص يبقى Y equal 200 and 0.8 Y plus 100. ها solve هيوصل نوصل ان Y equal 1500. Okay, C. Assume equation 2 is changed to I equal 110. يعني ايه؟ يعني كأنه بيقول لك if investment increases by 10 what is the new equilibrium level of income. Okay. طيب دلوقتي let's calculate the value of multiplier. 1 over marginal propensity to save يبقى 1 over 0.2 يبقى 5. the value of multiplier equal 5. investment increases by 10 صح from 100 to 110, so the new level of income equal 10 times 5 يعني 50. this is the increase in income. The increase in income equal 50. Initial level of equilibrium income كان 1500, so the new level of equilibrium 1500 plus 50 يبقى 1550. Okay, write the saving function. Plot this saving function on a graph with equation 2. Okay, يعني هنعمل الايكوليبريم اللي هو S equal I. Explain why the equilibrium income in this graph must be the same as in part B. يعني ليه aggregate output aggregate expenditure approach هيطلع لي نفس الانكم بتاع الاس equal I approach. هم اصلا نفس الايكويشن واحنا بندرايف them from each other. بقى اس let's drive saving S equal negative 200 plus 0.2 Y. اوكي لو قلت ان ده equal investment ال condition of equilibrium this equal investment 100. اوكي solve for Y هيطلع لي Y بتساوي 1500 زي ما طلع ايه كده. خلاص لو جيت ارسمهم this is the consumption function. See, this is the 45-degree line or income line. Okay, this is the break-even point. Saving function. Okay, this is the aggregate expenditure function. خلاص must be began from 300 علشان 200 plus 100 investment, so it's 300 plus 0.8 y. واخدين بالكم slope of aggregate expenditure function is the same as the slope of consumption function اللي هو مين؟ marginal propensity to consume. الفرق بينهم في autonomous part. الفرق بينهم في ايه بقى؟ في investment. اوكي investment اللي هو 100. يبقى this is the equilibrium عند 1500. If we draw the equilibrium with saving investment approach, the saving investment with saving function. Okay, نرسم investment which is horizontal line and 100. when investment intersect saving intersection point عندها بيبقى equilibrium اللي هو 1500. Okay, This is assignment. Try to solve it. اوكي ان شاء الله هيبقى سهل عليك. نفس الايه نفس الفكرة، بس لازم تحله علشان تدرب نفسك. And this is the end of our lecture. Thank you very much and I hope تكونوا فهمتوا ان شاء الله كويس. و next lecture will be with a new chapter which is 24 chapter. Thank you again and see you soon.